Hello, everybody, and welcome to another edition of Klamath Falls Falcons Baseball on 104.3 960 Sports and on MyBasin.com. It's another day here at the Northwest Class A American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament, and the Klamath Falls Falcons are in the semifinal, taking on a familiar foe in the Eugene Athletics. My name is Josh Eldridge. Thanks so much for joining us today, coming to you live from Mike Lansing Field in Casper, Wyoming. This is the second semifinal of the day, as the winner of this contest will advance to the regional championship game to take on the Utah State champs, the Cache Valley Wolverines. This is the fourth meeting of the season between the between the Athletics and the Falcons. Take you back to the Oregon State Championship game when the Eugene edged out the Falcons 2-1 in the title game, and again during bracket play of that event 6-5. You got to go back to June 24th to find the last time the Falcons beat the Oles, a 14-1 win in Eugene, but the Oles really kicked their season into high gear after that loss and, well, supplanted the Falcons as the state champs. They breezed through group play here at the event with a 3-0 record and are here in the semifinal representing the top team from Pool B. Taking a look at what the Oles have done so far at this event, 2 shutout wins in their 3 wins. They got a 2-0 win against the host Wildcatters in the opening day of the event. They defeated the Service team from Alaska 10-0 on Friday, and then closed out group play with a 10-4 win against the Belgrade Bandits. That's the team out of Montana to punch their ticket here to the semifinal. The Falcons have been playing behind the 8 ball since the first day of the event. An 11-9 loss against Burley on day 1 made the Falcons need to win their next 2 games and limit runs allowed, which they did. In an 11-6 win against the Sheridan Jets on Friday, that helped them stay alive to Saturday, where yesterday they defeated the Wolverines, who await the winner of this game in the championship contest tomorrow at noon. But despite that, the Falcons were able to beat them 6-1 yesterday. The Falcons needed to win that game and allow fewer than 4 runs. And, well, Colin Takini, he took the ball and he pitched in a masterful performance yesterday. 7 innings pitched against the Wolverines, 3 hits, 1 run. It was earned. He struck out 9 batters in that game. The Falcons' bats didn't help him out too much, though. It was the Wolverines' defense which committed 7 errors that allowed the Falcons to score most of their runs. In fact, no earned runs yesterday for the Falcons. And like I said, only 2 hits. There was an RBI single from Ian Meyer and a double from Jacoby Takini. Otherwise, a couple of walks and some well-timed errors, fielder's choices, what have you. The Falcons were able to move past the Wolverines yesterday, live to play another day, and they find themselves taking on the Oles here this afternoon. We're going to step aside here for 2 minutes, and when we come back, we'll introduce you to the starting lineups, and we'll get ready for first pitch on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice, I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
What are your goals? goals. To get stronger, move better, feel healthier, whatever you're aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Josh Eldridge gearing up again here for the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament semifinal as the Klamath Falls Falcons get set to take on the Eugene Ole Athletics. Falcons entering play today 39-7 overall on the season. 2-1 through group play, but enough to be here in the semifinal. The Ole's 29-13 throughout the season. Like I said earlier, they just breezed right on through pool play, a perfect 3-0 mark. As our coaches exchange lineup cards down there by home plate, we've got a full umpiring crew today of four guys out there, which is great as we move here through the semifinal. As I said, the winner here will play the Cache Valley Wolverines in the tournament championship game coming up tomorrow. And like I've said before, but I'll reiterate it again, there's no World Series for Single A Legion baseball. This is the pinnacle tournament right here, is the regional event. This is what you play for all season long, and both of these teams just one game away from making it to the title game. For Eugene, it would be the first time in program history that they've made it this far, and in fact already a momentous season for them as they celebrated their first state championship back in North Bend last week. For the Falcons, they're trying to make it back to the title game for the second year in a row, but again, a familiar foe here in the Ole's. It's going to be a fun one. Lots of fans in attendance here. Dare I say that the Oregon teams, both the Falcons and the Ole's, probably traveled the best out of anybody. I think Idaho did a pretty good job. The Burley Green Sox, who the Falcons played on the first day, but as far as crowds go, this is a lot bigger than the crowd we had at the first semifinal. I'll tell you that much. Between Alaska and Utah, I think I might have counted 15 people in attendance, and that's not an exaggeration. But as I look out today, we're probably pushing 50 or so people here in attendance, which is great for the Ole's and the Falcons today. There's a lot of friendships on both sides, but today it is all business. Let's go ahead and introduce you to today's starting lineups, and we'll start with the visiting team today, the second team out of Pool A, and that's your Klamath Falls Falcons. Leading off for the Falcons today is Carson Sims. Corbin Hamilton is the pitcher. He bats second, followed by Jacoby Takini, the catcher, hitting third. Ian Meyer is at first base today. He hits cleanup, followed by Colin Takini, the third baseman, hitting fifth. Ty Teeters is at second base. He bats sixth today, followed by Trustin Thomas, batting seventh and in right field. Chase Barrett's in left. He's batting eighth. Harley Hoblet rounds out the Falcons' order. He is in center field today. They are going up against Zach Hermanson on the hill for Eugene. The lineup behind him goes like this. Rowdy Williams, the catcher, leads off, followed by Blake Singleton, the second baseman, hitting second. Coda Skinner, the third baseman, bats third. Colton Hartman hits cleanup today. He's the shortstop. Nolan Spears in left field, batting fifth. Hitting sixth is the first baseman, Colden Clark. Ben Thurman is in right field, batting seventh. Zach Hermanson is pitching today. He hits eighth. And Landon Vaughn is in center field. He hits ninth for the Ole's. The Falcons are in their white uniforms today, despite being the road team. The Ole's in their blue tops today with gray pants and red piping and red socks down their side. We are excited for another day of baseball here at the Regional. Thanks so much for joining us. Whether you're a Falcons fan and you've been with us all year long, or you're a Eugene fan and you remember us from the state tournament where we went up to your place back in June, appreciate you choosing our feed here on mybasin.com or listening on 104.3 and 960 Sports. We're going to step aside for one more 2-minute break, and when we come back, it's time for baseball at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Josh Eldridge back with you here on 104.3 960 Sports and on mybasin.com. The Falcons getting ready to take on the Eugene Athletics in the semifinal here at the regional tournament. On the mound today for the Olies is going to be Zach Hermanson. As the right-hander warms up, we'll give you a look at his statistics here on the season, making his 7th start of the summer. It's his 8th overall appearance. He carries a 4-0 record, and in 27 innings pitched has an ERA of 1.29 entering play today. Now, like I said, this is the 4th meeting of these two teams this season, but a new pitching matchup. Zach Hermanson has not thrown against the Falcons this season. Corbin Hamilton has not thrown against the Olies this season. And so despite these two teams knowing each other well, it is going to be that new pitching matchup today, which frankly I'm excited to see. Carson Sims, Corbin Hamilton, and Jacoby Takini going to be leading things off for the Falcons here momentarily. Working on our 2-camera setup here today, but I want to make sure my equipment stays a little bit cooler today than it did yesterday, so we're setting it up here as we move along. Want to remind you again, our broadcast today brought to you by a number of our wonderful sponsors back home, like Geno's on East Main Street. Our scoreboard today brought to you by Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. And of course, we also want to give a shout out to Abby's Legendary Pizza, Sage Credit Union, Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty, Klamath Falls Subaru, and our photographers at God's Gifts Photography. All right, we are just about ready for baseball today as Carson Sims gets ready to dig in. Yesterday, Sims was 0 for 3 in the contest, but he did have an RBI with a sacrifice in the 6th inning, as the first pitch is going to miss away. Count is 1-0. 2:13 here in Wyoming, as we are just a little bit past our scheduled start time. But with us being the only other game of the day today, we're going to see this one through to a conclusion, of course, and then a championship game coming up tomorrow. Sims even in the count now 1-1 after he swung at the outside pitch. Last time these two teams met in the state championship game, Sims was 0 for 3, but here he gets hit by a pitch, and he earns a trip to first base for his trouble. The Falcons got a leadoff base runner here in the 1st inning. Brings up Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton in yesterday's contest was 0 for 2, but he did walk a pair of times. And we talked about yesterday the Falcons, despite scoring 6 runs, they were all unearned against the Utah State champs and only got 2 base hits. Hamilton showing bunt here. That pitch misses outside. The count is 1-0. But when Hamilton last faced the Olies, he was 2 for 3 in that contest. That was back in the state championship game that the Olies wound up defeating the Falcons in 2-1. It was a one-run fifth inning that put the Oles in front, a lead that they would never relinquish back on July 26th. Hamilton here lays down a bunt, the third base line. Skinner is up with it. The throw to first is in time, but Sims advances to second on the sacrifice there from Hamilton, and so a runner in scoring position for Jacoby Takini. The defense for the Oles goes like this. Rowdy Williams is the catcher. Coda Skinner is at third. Colton Hartman is at shortstop with Singleton at second base. That's Blake Singleton. Colden Clark is at first. Nolan Spear in left. You've also got Landon Vaughn in center and Ben Thurman in right for the Oles. In steps Ian Meyer. He was one of two Falcons to record a base hit yesterday. He reached base all three times, though. Once he was hit by a pitch in the first, once he reached on an error, and then that RBI single came in the fifth inning. And we've got a discussion now between our home plate umpire and our first base umpire. Coach Joe Takini was trying to listen in on what might be happening here. Coach Joe Takini down the first base side, Coach Sean Teeters down the third base side, and Coach Craig Connor in the dugout. And I think they're going to say Hamilton was safe down there at first. That's my mistake. I thought they had thrown him out, and I looked to make sure Sims was advancing to second on that play, so I stand corrected. It looks like safe at first there was Corbin Hamilton. And they're going to have Max Rogers come in and run for him. Guess that shows me to take my eye off the ball for a moment. Oh, no, it was a walk to Jacoby Takini. Now Ian Meyer steps in. I stand corrected. So we walked Takini. Hamilton was out on the sacrifice. And so here we go. I thought we were getting a courtesy for Corbin since he's afforded the pitcher, but just misplaced it for a moment. So here we go. Sims is at second after being hit by a pitch. Hamilton advanced him to second on the sacrifice. Takini was the intentional walk. He is replaced by Rogers at first, and now here's Ian Meyer at the plate. First pitch to Meyer is a curveball that misses inside, and the count is 1-0 from Hermanson. Set again is Hermanson. And here's the pitch. That one finds the knee level on the outside corner. Count is 1-1. After Meyer in the order, it is Colin Takini. Small lead off a second for Sims out there, and even smaller for Rogers at first. Hermanson comes set, takes a while before delivering the pitch and slots it in on the inside corner. A 1-2 count to Meyer. 95 degrees here as we are just getting going in Casper, Wyoming. It is a sunny day, if not a little bit hazy with the smoke, but certainly nothing compared to what folks are dealing with back home in the basin. And so the wind blowing out to right field, as has been typical this weekend. An inside curveball misses below the knees for Meyer. He's even in the count, 2-2. In the state title game against the Oles, Meyer was 0 for 3 at the plate. Hermanson comes set. Sims an extra half-step lead off of second. Hermanson clocks it before motioning home. Meyer a line drive to second. It's off the second baseman's glove. Throw to second for one, and they won't get Meyer on the back end. And so that'll put runners at the corners now with 2 outs as Sims advanced to third. And Meyer is safe. So it brings up Colin Takini. So we'll put that in as I believe a fielder's choice for Meyer there as Takini gets ready to step in here. Colin pitched a fantastic game yesterday in the win for the Falcons against Cache Valley. Like I said, a complete game when the Falcons needed him most. He had his best stuff yesterday, striking out 9 batters, only walking 2. He allowed 3 hits, and that 1 run was probably the most important stat of them all because that's what allowed the Falcons to be here in the semifinal, with the tiebreakers being based off of runs allowed. Takini only allowing that run. It was a big-time outing for him yesterday, and now a chance to try to give his team the lead with the stick, with runners at the corners, 2 outs, Sims at third, Meyer aboard at first. Colin behind in the count 0-1 after fouling off the first pitch. Now that one on the way from Zach Hermanson. Off-speed pitch that Takini swings over the top of. The count is 0-2. After Takini, it's going to be Ty Teeters should he get a chance to hit this inning. And Colin going to have to protect here behind in the count 0-2. Meyer takes off early. They do not throw over to him. Meyer now is going to just be caught out there. They got to throw the ball, but in fact, they just let Meyer take second. So he leaves early. The aggressiveness pays off at least momentarily for the Falcons. And so Meyer swipes second, and now a chance for a couple of RBIs out there with 2 men in scoring position for Colin. The pitch in is swung on and missed. Takini not able to find it this time, and that will end the inning. The Falcons get 2 men in scoring position but can't cash in, and we'll head to the bottom half of the first next at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament semifinal on mybasin.com.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Josh Eldridge welcoming you back here to the bottom of the first inning at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament here in Casper, Wyoming at beautiful Mike Lansing Field. Field has held up, for the most part, pretty well throughout this tournament. The grounds crew has done a great job. They got the field ready today in about 20 minutes, which feels kind of like record time. They did a great job. They've done a great job all weekend. There hasn't been any crazy hops, nothing like that. It's been a fantastic tournament so far. We already have one finalist waiting for the winner of this game in tomorrow's championship at noon. The Cache Valley Wolverines waiting patiently. Surprisingly enough, I don't see them in attendance today, but probably watching a live stream. And so thank you for joining us today on mybasin.com. Rowdy Williams, Blake Singleton, Coda Skinner set to lead things off for the Olies against Corbin Hamilton. The right-hander from Henley High School gets the start for the Falcons today. He's making his 11th start of the season, a perfect 6-0 record for Hamilton through 43 2/3 innings pitched, a team-best ERA of .48 for Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton did throw already in this tournament. He threw against the Burley Green Sox. He only threw 2 innings in that game, though, and gave up 3 hits and 3 unearned runs while striking out 5 batters. And again, those unearned runs still enough to get the Falcons a loss in that game. They lost in the opening day of this event 11-9 as the first pitch from Hamilton is called a strike. 0-1 to Williams. He works ahead. But again, back-to-back wins on Friday and Saturday, with minimal runs allowed. It's allowed the Falcons to be here today as the 0-1 pitch misses inside to Rowdy Williams. Williams in the state championship game against the Falcons was 0 for 3 as he takes a pitch upstairs there. The count is 2-1. Williams, though, did not hit in the leadoff spot in that game. In fact, he hit in the 5 spot, but was still listed as the catcher, but they moved him up into the leadoff position today. The 2-1 pitch is lifted to the right side. Trustin Thomas moves towards the foul line and makes the catch in foul territory, I'll add, for the first out in the bottom of the first inning, and it brings up Blake Singleton. Gives us an opportunity to introduce you to the Falcons' starting defense today. Jacoby Takini behind the dish. Colin Takini at third base. Carson Sims is at short with Ty Teeters at second. Ian Meyer is at first. Chase Barrett is in left. Harley Hoblet is in center. And Trustin Thomas just making a play out there in right field. First pitch from Corbin to Blake Singleton misses inside. The count is 1-0 to Singleton. He was 1 for 1 in the championship game back on July 26th. That pitch finds the zone on the outside corner. Count is even 1-1. That game, the Ole's faced Colin Tacchini on the hill. Colin threw well in that game, too. 6 strikeouts, only 1 earned run, but in a 2-1 final, that was all the challengers needed to get a state championship, their first ever in program history. Of course, that would add up to this being their first regional appearance in program history. Hold that thought. Line drive to third, gloved by Tacchini. The hot corner living up to its name there. And Singleton is the second casualty here in the first inning. It brings up Coda Skinner. Now, folks might think if you look back, there was a Northwest Regional hosted in Eugene back in 2017, but it wasn't actually the Ole's who hosted that game, or that tournament, I suppose. It was Willamette, as they used to have a program for Legion Baseball. But post-COVID and the pandemic, when a lot of things in the sports world were shaken up, the Challengers AAA program in Eugene absorbed the Willamette team and their programs as well. So again, this is the first regional appearance for the Ole's as that pitch misses upstairs. The count's 3-0 here to Coda Skinner. After Skinner, in the order, is Colton Hartman. Here's the pitch. And that one misses upstairs. Hamilton, a 4-pitch walk after 2 quick outs in the first, brings up Colton Hartman. Hartman ready to come in here. He was 0 for 3 in the game against the Falcons back on July 26th, the title game, but he did have an RBI in that game. Here he bats with 2 outs and a runner aboard at first in the bottom of the first inning of this semifinal matchup. Here's the pitch. This one's lifted to shallow center field. Carson Sims migrates behind the second base bag and puts that one away for the 3rd out in the first inning. The Ole's get a base runner with 2 outs, but they leave him stranded. And we head to the top of the second inning scoreless at the Northwest Regional Tournament on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Rob, why do you think so many families choose Subaru here?
Because they're built for real life here in Southern Oregon.
All-wheel drive, safety, and room for everything from kids to camping gear.
And we've got Subarus in stock, ready to go when you are.
Plus, we're locally owned and deeply involved in the community.
When you buy from us, you buy from a dealership that supports Klamath Falls. Stop by and say hi.
Friendly, local, and easy to work with. That's us at Klamath Falls Subaru, right on Washburn Way.
It is the top of the second inning, still scoreless in the Northwest Regional semifinal between your Klamath Falls Falcons and the Eugene Ole Athletics. Ty Teeters, Trustin Thomas, and Chase Barrett do up this half inning against Zach Hermanson. Falcons were able to get a couple of guys into scoring position in the first, were unable to push anything across. Here's the first pitch to Teeters. Line drive to the right side, over the head of the first baseman Clark and into right field. And a leadoff single for the Falcons gets them the first base hit of the ball game here to lead off the second. Brings up Trustin Thomas. Bats here with a runner on and nobody out. Trustin was 1 for 3 when these two teams last met in the Oregon State title game. Trustin also hit his first and so far only home run of the season back in bracket play against the Ole's. But here he looks to lay down a sacrifice bunt and does so successfully. He advances Teeters into scoring position at second, and it brings up Chase Barrett in an RBI opportunity with 1 out. Now Barrett, it's a guy that the Ole's haven't seen too much of this season. In fact, didn't get any at-bats against the Ole's back in the state title game. So this will be his first look against Zach Hermanson this season. Runner aboard at second. Decent wheels and Ty teeters, but some intelligence on the base paths too. The shortstop Hartman trying to keep Ty close out there. Hermanson clocks it and asks for time. Did we get time or did we get a balk? He balked before the umpire called time. I feel like that should probably be a balk, but I suppose that's kind of splitting hairs, as the pitcher saw Barrett calling for time and then stopped halfway through his motion, and then the umpire called time. But I suppose you get a freebie, maybe a mulligan. The count is 0-1 after Barrett swings and misses at that one. Barrett has had a great tournament so far. A couple of doubles back in the win against Sheridan, including an RBI. Yesterday had a sacrifice and an RBI and a single with a run scored. That one nearly came in and hit Barrett. The count to him is 1-1. Harley Hoblet is due up next. Teeters with a good lead off of second. Not terribly aggressive out there, but as Hartman goes back to his standard position at short, Teeters gets a good secondary lead, and an inside curveball is ruled a strike against Barrett. He's behind in the count, 1-2. Wind blowing hard out to the right side, 342 to right field here at Mike Lansing Field, 390 to straightaway center, 352 to left field. Here's the 1-2 on the way to Barrett. That one, slider drifts away. Count is even now to Chase. His good performance here at the regional tallies him up on the season to now be batting .315 on the summer for the Falcons. Hermanson delivers the pitch. Barrett waves and misses it, one in the dirt. Tag applied. He is out as the second out here in the second inning. Harley Hoblet looking to come up in a big spot for his squad here. Runner in scoring position after the leadoff single. Falcons don't want to squander another opportunity with men in scoring position. Yesterday, Hoblet 0 for the ball game, although he did drive in a run when he grounded out in the sixth inning with the bases loaded. Here's the pitch. That's a grounder sent out towards second. Up with it cleanly is Singleton. Throw on to first is in time. After a leadoff single, the Falcons leave a man in scoring position. We head to the bottom half of the second next. Scoreless on mybasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Bottom of the second inning, still looking for our first run here at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament semifinal between the Klamath Falls Falcons and the Eugene Ole Athletics. Nolan Spear, Colden Clark, and Ben Thurman do up this half inning for the Oles as they look to get something going here against Corbin Hamilton. Gave up a walk in the first inning, but otherwise unscathed. 3 flyouts got Hamilton out of the first as Nolan Spear gets ready to dig in. Spear was used as a pinch hitter in the state championship game in Oregon back on the 26th of July. He was 0 for 1, though, in that contest. Here he takes an outside breaking ball for a strike, falls behind to Hamilton, kicks and delivers the 0-1. Another curveball, sliced foul this time, counts 0-2. Hamilton went outside with the breaking ball, went inside with the breaking ball, and can do just about whatever he wants here in an 0-2 count. Again, Colden Clark waits on deck. Takini delivers the sign to Hamilton. He delivers from the windup. Tries to go inside with the breaking ball, but misses too far in, and the count is 1-2. That pitch also a little bit low. Could be used to set something else up here. Still, Hamilton works ahead. A ball and 2 strikes. Here it comes. Fastball waved at and missed. And that's the first out here in the second inning. It brings up Colden Clark.
First baseman, number 20, Colden Clark.
Colden Clark 0 for 3 when these two teams last met in the Oregon Championship game. Clark yesterday had a double, was 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs in the Ole's 10-4 win against the Belgrade Bandits. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. That one is hit well to left field, but Barrett able to move over, get underneath it, and make the catch for the second out in the second inning. Ben Thurman getting ready to swing away now for the Ole's. Right-handed hitter gets ready to dig in here against the Falcons. Thurman did not play in the state championship game against the Falcons, and here he takes strike one. On deck is Zach Hermanson, the pitcher, hoping for a chance to bat here with 2 outs in the inning. And that pitch misses low and away. Looked to be the fastball there from Hamilton. Count is even now to Ben Thurman. Takini sets the target up and away. Hamilton goes inside with the breaking ball. Might have missed his spot, but he gets a swinging strike anyway. Count is 1-2 to Thurman. Hamilton going to try to put him away here. The 1-2 on its way. Curveball fisted back up the middle. Teeters is up with it, throws on to Meyer in time, and a 1-2-3 second inning for Hamilton. Keeps this one scoreless as we head to the third at the Northwest Regional Tournament on mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Getting set now for the top half of inning number 3 on 104.3 and 960 Sports, with a live video stream available for you today on mybasin.com. Top of the Falcons order due up here in this half inning. Carson Sims, Corbin Hamilton, and Jacoby Takini. Sims gets ready to dig in now, hoping to see a few more pitches. He was hit by a pitch in the first inning. I mean, I'm sure he'll gladly take a trip to get on base any way he can here in the semifinal, but I know Carson, he wants to swing away. Here's the first pitch, and a swinging first pitch foul ball. The count is 0-1. Sims really left an impact back on Friday against Sheridan when he finished 2 for 4 with 2 doubles, 2 runs scored, and an RBI. Despite being hitless yesterday, he also contributed a couple of singles in the Falcons' first game, despite the loss against Burley. As he takes a pitch low below the knees there, 1-1. Sims scored 2 runs in that game on a 2 for 4 appearance. The 1-1 home to Carson is fouled straight back. Count is now a ball and 2 strikes to the Falcons' leadoff hitter. On the season, Sims bats .367 and has 12 total extra base hits. Gets on base about 47% of the time, but here going to have to battle behind in the count, 1-2. Hermanson from the windup. Here's the pitch. That one is hit to right center field. Going back is the right fielder Thurman, but that's down and in the gap. Sims is going to head for second base and in with a standing double. Sims' third double of this regional, and he hits one here to lead off the third inning in the semifinal. Brings up Corbin Hamilton, a chance to help himself out here. He laid down a sacrifice bunt in the first inning, did his job there. Wouldn't be shocked if they have him do another job here, or if they let Hamilton swing away and try to knock in that run. Sims has got good speed. A base hit would likely score him, especially with how deep the outfield is playing. But the corner's in, protecting a bunt against Hamilton. Hermanson delivers. Hamilton takes a pitch outside for a ball. Didn't show bunt at all. The count is 1-0. Hamilton hitless yesterday, but back on Friday against Sheridan, had a double and an RBI in the fourth inning of that contest. Pitch on the way to Hamilton. That one is knee-high on the outer third, ruled a strike. Count is even to Korb, 1-1. On deck is Jacoby Tacchini for the Falcons. Small lead off a second for Sims, especially with Hartman trying to keep him close. But when you got speed like Sims, you don't necessarily need a big lead to even score on a single. Hermanson takes a while before throwing the pitch after coming set and misses inside with it anyway. 2-1 to Hamilton. Guy who's got 36 RBIs on the season. Hamilton bats .432. He'll be a senior next year at Henley High School, a 4A All-State recipient. Here's the delivery on the way to Hamilton. Slider misses upstairs, and Hamilton works ahead here, 3-1. Now, like I said, despite not picking up a hit yesterday, Hamilton walked twice. He also was able to reach base a few times yesterday. Swings and misses at the upstairs pitch there, 3-2. That's a tough one to catch up to, that fastball high. I don't want to stand corrected. He reached base a couple of times back on Friday against Sheridan, including a walk and a run scored in that game too. 3-2 the count. Sims leads off a second. Hamilton's going to shorten up the stroke here with 2 strikes on him, but he comes up empty on the outside fastball, and there's one gone in the third inning, and it brings up Jacoby Tacchini. Tacchini was intentionally walked last time, and they'll do it again here, and so they don't want any of them.
That'll bring up first baseman number 2, Ian Meyer.
Hard to blame him. As another intentional walk for Tacchini puts Rogers aboard at first with 1 out, and it brings up Ian Meyer. That's the thing about walking Tacchini, though, is it doesn't get much easier as you go through the lineup. Meyer also a fantastic hitter, .474 on the season, gets on base up over 53% of the time, and here he bats with 1 gone and 2 men on base as Hermanson steps off, looks Sims back to second. Sims led off this inning with a double. And, of course, Rogers aboard at first after the intentional walk. Rogers with a pretty sizable lead off of first, especially with Clark playing in front of the runner. Meyer first pitch swinging, fly ball to the right side. That one is going to get down for extra bases. Sims is going to score. Rogers on his tail. He's getting the green light. The throw in is going to take the catcher away from the bag, and a 2 RBI double for Ian Meyer. The Falcons lead in the third inning. Couldn't tell if that ball was going to stay fair or not, but once it did, hugged the line down there and rattled against the fence. That's a 2-bagger for Ian Meyer. 2 RBIs as well for Ian. Double number 11 and collecting RBI number 58 on the summer, and he puts his team up by a pair in this semifinal matchup. Brings up Colin Tacchini. He struck out his first time up, but here in an RBI opportunity with just 1 gone and Meyer at second. Here's the pitch from Hermanson. Inside fastball ruled a strike. The count is 0-1. Although Tacchini was hitless in yesterday's contest, go back to Friday against Sheridan, had an RBI single in the fourth inning of that game. He reached base 3 times, once on a walk as well and on an error. Here's the 0-1 home to Colin. He hits that one right back up the middle, through and into center field. Meyer gets waved in. The throw from center field gets cut off. Meyer's in standing. And an RBI single for Colin Tacchini. The Falcons lead by 3. That brings up Ty Teeters with a runner on and still just 1 out. Teeters singled his last time up in the second inning. By the way, for Colin Tacchini, just picking up RBI number 39 on the season. Decent lead off of first there for Colin. Clark holding him close. Set on the bump is Hermanson, ready for the first pitch to Ty Teeters. But first, a move over to first, and they got Takini. Just leaning. That was a great pickoff move by Hermanson. Got to tip the cap to that one. That was lightning quick, and Takini was back as quick as he could be, but the ball just beat him there. And so now there's 2 outs and the bases are empty for Ty Teeters. Trying to start something new for his ball club. First pitch to Ty. It is taken for a strike. It looked to be a slider, maybe a curveball. It was knee-high on the outside part of the plate. Teeters falls behind here 0-1. Trustin Thomas is due up next if Ty can get aboard. Here's the 0-1 pitch. A bouncer towards the right side. Charging is Singleton. Up with it, and the throw on to Clark is there. The Falcons add 3 runs, though, here in this third inning with RBIs from Ian Meyer and Colin Takini. No runners left stranded. The Falcons have built themselves up a 3-run lead in the third. We go to the bottom half next on mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Three 0 Falcons lead in the bottom of the third inning on 104.3, 960 Sports, and mybasin.com. It'll be Hermanson, then Landon Vaughn, and then back to the top of the order for the Oles and Rowdy Williams to lead off this bottom of the third inning. Hamilton looking to protect the lead. Here we go. Digging in here is Hermanson. Pitch on the way is a grounder towards Teeters at second. It eats him up and bounces over his head and into center field. Just rolled up his arm. And Hermanson is going to reach there on an error to lead off the inning. Didn't necessarily take a bad hop, I don't think. It just rolled right up his arm. And it brings up Landon Vaughn after the leadoff base runner. Vaughn on the season, a .273 hitter for the Oles. And he bats with a runner on and nobody out. Middle infield ready to try to turn 2. Teeters over by the second base bag, and here's the pitch. It's a slider, ruled a strike on the outside corner, 0-1. The pitcher, Hermanson, going to stay on base for himself here. Didn't see anyone come out of the dugout. Not a terribly aggressive lead off the first base bag. Meyer tries to keep him close there. Hamilton delivers home. Another bunt attempt, this time laid down the third base side. Takini is up with it, throws on to first in time. No one's covering third, and then Sims gets there in time. That's the classic 5-3-6 double play, and there's 2 gone here in the third inning. Great heads-up defense there from Carson Sims, thinking no one was there to cover the bag. He's got to get in position, and he does so in time. There's 2 gone in the inning. Williams 0 for 1 today as he gets ready to step in against Corbin Hamilton. He flew out to right field in the first inning. The pitch from Hamilton is a curveball, beautifully broken off there by Corb. 0-1. Started inside against the righty, broke back across the plate. He works ahead of Williams, and the pitch. Another curveball, tried to go front door again. This time just missed a bit low. Count is even to Williams. And on the season, Rowdy Williams, a .241 hitter for the Oles. Here's the 1-1 home to him. Fastball misses wide, 2-1. On deck, if the inning continues, is Blake Singleton. Outfield shaded a little bit to the right. Big gap on the left side, though, between Hoblet and Barrett, the left fielder. Here's a swing and a miss. It's strike 2. Probably anticipating Williams to go the opposite way. And Thomas in right field playing very deep out towards the warning track. Hamilton shakes off the first offering from Tacchini. Now is agreeable. The 2-strike pitch is fouled off. Count remains 2-2 to Rowdy Williams. 2 gone in the bottom of the third. The Falcons lead the Oles 3-0 in this semifinal matchup. Got the battle of the Bat Boys working again today. Racing for that foul ball behind home plate. All right, here we go. 2-2. Hamilton motions home. It's swung on and missed. Slider away. Got Williams chasing. And that'll do it here in the bottom of the third. We head to the fourth next on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com. The Falcons lead the Oles by 3.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food.
For your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
It is the top of the fourth inning as we check our line scores today. Brought to you by Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. They use a modern and research-backed approach to physical therapy to ensure you see both a reduction in pain and enhanced mobility, getting you back to peak levels of optimal health and wellness. Klamath Falls leads 3-0. 3 runs on 4 hits, 1 error for the Falcons. For the Oles, no runs, no hits, no errors. Leading off this half for the Falcons is going to be Trustin Thomas. He'll be followed by Chase Barrett. And then Harley Hoblet. Thomas laid down a sacrifice bunt his last time up. So without an official at-bat yet today, but Thomas on the season, batting .306 for the Falcons. Was hitless in yesterday's contest, but back on Friday against Sheridan, had an RBI single in the 4th inning of that game. And he also had an RBI double in the 7th inning against Burley back on the opening day of the tournament on Thursday. Strike one is called against Thomas on a curveball about knee high. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That one is going to get away from him a bit. Count is 1-1. Again, 3-0 our score. The Oles sticking with Hermanson on the hill right now. It was all 3 runs in the 3rd inning for the Falcons. After the leadoff double, the Falcons actually got 2 doubles in that inning as Meyer collected a couple of RBIs when he knocked one deep to right. Colin Tacchini then knocked Meyer in with an RBI single for himself. So stringing together those singles, important for the Falcons as Thomas looks to lead off this inning with a base runner. He's ahead here, 2-1 in the count. The pitch from Hermanson is waved at and missed, fouled maybe back into the glove of the catcher Williams. Regardless, it's strike 2, and Thomas even in the count. Product of Modoc High School, digs back in. Thomas awaits the 2-2. That one in near his hands, and he works ahead here 3-2. That might have been an off-speed pitch from Hermanson. Might have started in against the right-hander, but I don't think it had enough to it to get back into the zone. So here's a full count offering from Hermanson. And Thomas swings and misses at the outside heat. He is the first out in the 4th inning. Chase Barrett getting ready to step in now for Klamath Falls. He was a strikeout victim back in the 2nd inning. Barrett's been impressive this tournament for the Falcons. Taken over as the starting left fielder in all the games so far. Here he takes strike 1, and that's due to the difference in rules between when you play back in Oregon and when you play here at the regional in Oregon. Legion ball is played in high school rules or at least the single A is, as Barrett takes a pitch inside there, counts 1-1. Here at the regional, though, everyone plays by typical American Legion rules, so it's to say no DHing. And so typically the DH has been used in left field this year for the Falcons, but they slotted Barrett into the starting order as he sends a line shot over the head of the second baseman and into center field. Barrett getting on his horse, trying to stretch this single to a double, and he does. Good time to sing his praises for Chase Barrett, double number 7 on the season, and he's leaving an impact here at this regional tournament. Brings up Harley Hoblet, 0 for 1 today, but with a runner in scoring position, trying to score Barrett here and add another to their already growing 3-run lead. Hoblet grounded out, though, back in the second inning. Crowds the plate, does Harley, as he awaits the pitch. Hermanson delivers. Hoblet hits one, shallow right field. Coming in is Thurman. He dives, but comes up empty. It gets behind him. Barrett rounds third, heads for home. Hoblet dives safely into second. An RBI double for Harley Hoblet, and the Falcons lead by 4. For Harley, give him double number 2, and RBI number 18 of the season. And a visit for the Eugene pitching coach as he goes out to talk to Zach Hermanson. Hoblet going opposite field to that one. Thurman laid out for it, and you think maybe if he didn't, I think Barrett probably would have scored, but Hoblet certainly wouldn't have got to second. But Thurman dove for the ball. That's a double, and he winds up at second, and it brings up Carson Sims. Now, the question is Eugene going to make a change here, down 4 here in this semifinal, or are they going to continue to ride Hermanson? Falcons are starting to see the ball well here in this one. As we continue to take a pause here, I'll remind you today's broadcast on mybasin.com is brought to you in part by Geno's on East Main Street. Open up every single morning at 6:30, serving up their famous breakfast burritos. Those are served all day long, along with other menu items like burgers, monthly specials, and Italian favorites. You can order online at ilovegenos.com or have it brought to you with DoorDash. All right, no changes yet for the Olies. And Carson Sims ready to step in now with Harley Hoblet aboard at second. Sims doubled and scored back in the third inning. He also was hit by a pitch in the first. Keeping the rally going for the Falcons. That's the goal here. The first pitch on the way to Sims. Hermanson set and delivers. Misses behind Sims. Actually, looks like it got him on his back foot. And so thought that ricocheted off the catcher's glove at first, but they're going to say that hit Sims' back foot. And now another meeting out to the mound. This will spell the end for Hermanson. 2 men on, 1 man out. Corbin Hamilton due up next, and we'll step aside for 60 seconds. Give the new arms some time to warm up here for the Olies as the Falcons lead them by 4 in the Northwest Regional Tournament on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
New arm in the game for the Olies. It is Nolan Spear taking over for Zach Hermanson. He'll enter into the game with 2 men on and just 1 man out. Already a run home this half inning for the Falcons. Spear on the season making his 15th appearance. It leads the team in number of games appeared in. This will be his 12th appearance in relief this year. He carries a 3-1 record and has 2 saves, although this is not a save opportunity, of course. Spear just trying to keep this deficit where it is and disallow Hoblet or Sims from scoring this half inning. Spear on the season an ERA of 3.5 through 26 innings pitched. New left fielder into the game for the Olies as well, because that's where Spear comes in from. It looks like... Okay, so we've got quite a few changes here for the Olies. We'll just go ahead and reset the defense for you in just a moment, because there are quite a few changes. We'll do so after this first pitch to Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton looking to show bunt here. And the pitcher steps off. Hoblet caught in a rundown between second and third. Now he's headed back towards second. And he is going to be tagged out at second base. And so there's 2 outs now in the inning. Defensively for the Olies, Singleton is now at third. Hartman stays at short. Hermanson stays in the game. He is at second. Clark is at first. Thurman in left. Vaughn in center. And Skinner in right. Pitch to Hamilton. Misses upstairs. Count is 1-0. Falcons still have a runner on base. It's Carson Sims over at first. Hamilton struck out his last time up in the third inning. Here he takes a look at a breaking pitch for strike 1. Counts even to Corbin. Taking a look at the season so far for Hamilton, a .432 hitter. The pitch, a big curveball, misses up. Count is 2-1 to Hamilton. Jacoby Tacchini is due up next. Now, he's been intentionally walked his first 2 times, but if Hamilton's able to find a way to get on base, you'd think Tacchini would have a first chance today to swing away. Here's the pitch. Hamilton lofts one to the right side, and that is out of play, foul. Count is now 2-2 to the Falcons' starting pitcher. Hamilton digs back in. He closes up his stance a little bit with 2 strikes. Keeps his hands low, wants to shorten up that stroke a bit. And the delivery on the way from Nolan Spear is again fouled off the opposite way, 2-2. So, just again to clarify, Hermanson stays in the game for Eugene, so no changes to the batting order for those of you scorekeeping at home. No DH for either team today, so the pitcher is going to be hitting all afternoon long. The 2-2 to Hamilton. Sims takes off. Hamilton hammers one to left field, and it is down for a hit. And with Sims getting a head start, able to go first to third on that play, and a single for Hamilton puts runners at the corners here for Jacoby Tacchini. And seemingly they're going to let Jacoby hit here and shy away from loading up the bases because Meyer made him pay last time, who's waiting on deck now. Thurman laid out for that ball, but it just got down in front of him. He's lucky to have gotten a glove on it at all, because if that skipped behind him, Sims was certainly scoring, and Hamilton, he's got long strides out there, but a good defensive effort by Thurman to stop that one and disallow a run to score. Keeps his team in it here in the fourth. First pitch on the way to Tacchini, misses high. Count is 1-0. Now, there is a base open, and although they're pitching to Tacchini here, they still are likely going to be pretty careful. Don't want to give him anything good to hit if you're the Olies. And home plate umpire comes out from behind home plate. What do we got? Discussion now with the umpire. And is it including the pitcher? Not exactly sure what they're discussing out there. Was it about maybe him coming set? Now we've got the base umpires coming over to get involved too. Allows us to take a break from the action and remind you that today's broadcast on MyBasin.com is brought to you in part by Klamath Falls Subaru. Through the Subaru Love Promise and Subaru Share the Love events, Klamath Falls Subaru has donated thousands of dollars to dozens of hometown charities. Comfortable and not corporate at Klamath Falls Subaru. Stop by and say hi on Washburn Way. And it looks like they dusted off the rubber out on the mound. And maybe that was it. Was his foot not on the rubber, perhaps? Or maybe the home plate umpire couldn't tell, maybe? And now the home plate umpire is discussing things with the Ole's pitching coach. Want to make sure that his pitcher wasn't doing anything wrong out there, I think. But it looks like we're ready to play some more baseball here today at the Northwest Regional Tournament. The Falcons lead the Ole's 4-0 in the top of the fourth inning. There's 2 outs and runners at the corners for Jacoby Tacchini. The pitch is going to miss in. Count is 2-0 now to Jacoby. Like I said, intentionally walked his last 2 times up. Hamilton's at first. Sims is at third. The 2-0 to Tacchini. Hits that one sky high in foul territory behind third base. Singleton is not able to make the catch, and it'll be a foul ball as he touched it in foul territory before it came back fair. And that will be an error. And also, if any more runs come across to score this inning unearned against Hermanson and then Spear, who would be responsible for the runner aboard at first, Hamilton. Might be getting ahead of ourselves there anyway. The count's 2-1 to Tacchini as he got bailed out by Singleton there on the left side. The pitch in is going to miss in to Tacchini. The count is 3-1. Like I said, Meyer is due up next if Tacchini reaches here. And the pitch is going to miss in against Tacchini again. Same result as the previous 2 at-bats for Tacchini. A walk. This time it loads up the bases. Hamilton to second. We'll have Rogers courtesy run for Tacchini at first. And Ian Meyer stepping in. Meyer, like I said, made the Ole's pay last time they put Tacchini on base for free. A 2 RBI double. He would later score a run in the 3-run third inning for the Falcons. They've already added 1 here in the fourth. And with Meyer up there, looking for more with the bases loaded and 2 gone. Here's the pitch. Meyer takes a strike, letter high on the outside. Count is 0-1. Meyer, a .474 hitter on the season, reaches base just about 53% of the time. Second on the team in RBIs. Here's the pitch to Meyer. It's a line drive to the left center field gap, down for a base hit. Hamilton's going to score from second. Rogers gets held up at third. Meyer advancing to second on the throw, and the Falcons add 2 more as they now lead 6-0. I think... Well, Meyer's certainly getting the base hit on that one. I'll be curious how they scored a single or a double because he just pretty much advanced straight away. And so they're going to say Meyer singled and then advanced on that throw in. Either way, an RBI for Meyer gives him the 3rd RBI of the game. And Colin Tacchini gets ready to step in here. Still 2 gone, but still 2 men in scoring position as well. Meyer at second, Rogers at third. Here's the pitch to Colin. And that one is popped up to the right side. Might be playable for the first baseman, Clark. And no, it is out of play just over the Falcons' dugout. Count is 0-1 to Tacchini. Ty Teeters is due up next should the inning continue. Tacchini's the 8th batter to hit this inning for the Falcons. He's behind in the count here, 0-1. Small lead off of second for Meyer. He gets a good secondary out there. The pitcher checks on him, and now the pitch home. Flared out to the right side, but it bends just foul. And the count is now 0-2 to Colin Tacchini. Falcons already have 3 runs home this half inning. They lead by 6 here in the top of the 4th at the regional tournament semifinal. The 0-2. Curveball misses up. Didn't have enough break to that one. A ball and 2 strikes here to Colin. Bats .339 on the summer for the Falcons. 13 extra base hits, 38 RBIs this year. 39, counting the one he got earlier in his last time up. 1 for 2 so far today. Here he lines one over to the second baseman. Gloved by Hermanson. They're going to say he caught it on the fly. And so that is the 3rd out here in the 4th inning. But the Falcons add 3 on 4 base hits. They leave a couple of men stranded, and they lead 6-0. Headed to the bottom of the 4th inning next on mybasin.com.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coldwell Banker, where home begins.
2-3-4 in the Ole's order due up in the bottom of the fourth inning as they try to chip away at the Falcons' 6-run lead at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament. Singleton, Coda Skinner, and then Colton Hartman due up against Corbin Hamilton. Now working with a pretty sizable lead. Getting ready to go against Singleton, who's 0 for 1 today. Singleton flew out his last time up. Here he sends a shot to left field, down the line and fair. Rounding first and headed for second is Singleton. The throw is going to beat him, but the tag does not. Teeters does not apply the tag low enough. And a double for Singleton. If he just got that tag down, that'd be an out. Throw beat him by maybe 5 or 6 feet, but Teeters didn't get the glove down, and a double for Singleton to lead off the fourth brings up Skinner. First hit of the game for the Ole's comes here in the fourth inning, and in comes Skinner. He walked his last time up. First offering to Coda Skinner is going to miss away. And the count is 1-0. Skinner, the team's second leading hitter, bats .390 on the season. Falcons very familiar with Skinner. He pitched a complete game in the state championship game and struck out 3 batters in 7 innings. Here's the pitch from Hamilton. Skinner hits a chopper to the left side. Takini up with it on a hop, delivers the ball to Meyer, who applies the tag, and he is out at first. But in the meantime, Singleton advances to third on the play. And so 1 gone, and it brings up Colton Hartman. Hartman popped out to the shortstop back in the first inning. Trying to push across Eugene's first run of the ball game with a runner at third and just 1 out. The pitch, fastball, hugs the outside. Oh, just misses. Might have been a touch low, frankly. Count is 1-0 to Hartman. After Hartman, it's Nolan Spear who's on deck for the Ole's. And the 2-0 pitch is also going to miss low. Hamilton falls behind here 3-0. Hamilton has surrendered 1 walk, but it was all the way back in the first inning. A walk here doesn't hurt the Falcons too bad, though. Could set up a double play, but Hamilton wants to get after this hitter regardless. Here's the pitch to Hartman. Goes off speed, and he gets across a strike. The count's now 3-1 to Hartman. On the season, Hartman, the team's third best hitter for the Ole's, .373 on the summer, and he leads the group in RBIs with 39. There he takes a 2-seam fastball. That one finds the outside corner, 3-2. Good pitch from Hamilton, just painting the black on the outside. After falling behind 3-0, Hamilton works back 3-2. Here's the pitch. It's hit well to center field. Hoblet moving over into the gap, but in fact it's Trustin Thomas who calls him off. The throw in is cut off by Meyer, tries to get it in, but won't be able to do it. Singleton scores on the sacrifice fly, and the Ole's are still trailing 6-1, but they've got their first run on the board. The wind really took advantage of that baseball. That looked like it was hit more towards center field than right field, but with the wind blowing the way it is, it was actually the right fielder Thomas who had a better play on it. Regardless, the out was made. The run scores, bases empty, 2 gone. Here's Nolan Spear. He takes a look at a breaking pitch that misses, I think, up. Count is 1-0. Spear struck out his last time up. That was in the second inning. Here's the pitch on the way from Hamilton. That one misses low. Maybe a touch inside, says the umpire. 2-0 the count. Thought that missed low rather than inside, but regardless, count is 2-0 anyway. Colton Clark is on deck for the Ole's should the inning continue. The 2-0 pitch in. That one is going to miss inside. 3-0. Spear gets on base about 40% of the time for the Ole's, and he's in the driver's seat here ahead of Hamilton 3-0. Pitch on the way. That one misses. Hamilton a 4-pitch, 2-out walk, and it brings up Colton Clark. Clark popped out his last time up to left field, so 0 for 1 today. Jacoby Tacchini going to go out and have a quick chat with his pitcher, Corbin Hamilton, and it also looks like we are going to get a courtesy runner for the pitcher. Let's see, we got number 19. Binstat. All right, so Binstat aboard at first. Clark at the plate. And there's 2 gone, already 1 run home in the 4th inning for the Olies. They trail the Falcons 6-1 in this semifinal matchup here at the regional. The Utah State champs, the Cache Valley Wolverines, watching this one closely after their win earlier today against Service 6-2, the representatives of Alaska. Here's a line drive, center field. Hoblet coming in, but that one drops in front of him, and a 2-out base hit for Colden Clark moves Binstat to second, and it brings up Ben Thurman with 2 men on and 2 men out. Thurman grounded out his last time up in the 2nd inning. But a chance at an RBI as the Olies starting to chip away here in the bottom of the 4th inning. Got timeout called. And the umpire's looking to have another chat here. Not exactly sure what about. But we'll gladly thank some more of our sponsors as today's broadcast is brought to you in part by Howard's Meat Center, where tradition meets innovation with every cut and every bite of Smokin' H barbecue. As you step through their doors, you're not just entering a meat center. You're stepping back to a time when the quality of the meat and the depth of the customer service was everything. Check out Howard's Meat Center next to Les Schwab Tires on South 6th Street. We're ready for baseball as Ben Thurman digs in here, and the pitch on the way from Hamilton is a curveball ruled a strike right over the heart of the plate. 0-1 to Thurman. On the season, Ben Thurman is batting .148 for the Olies. They've got him here in the 7 spot. 2 men on, 2 men out. At second, it is Binstat. At first, it's Clark. Here's the 0-1. That one is poked down the first base line, and it does roll foul. Thought the spin was maybe going to break the way of the Olies and kick fair, so Hamilton and Tacchini hustling down the line, but it stayed foul, and so the count is 0-2 to Ben Thurman. Zach Hermanson is on deck if Thurman can find a way aboard with 2 outs in the inning. Hamilton looking in, gets the signal from Tacchini, shakes him off the first time, but now is agreeable. Here's the 0-2. Hamilton kicks and delivers, and it's poked foul. Count stays. No balls and 2 strikes to Ben Thurman. Thurman, of his 9 hits this season, 4 of them have been for extra base hits, and he's got 10 RBIs and only 9 hits. 11 runs scored as well for Thurman. Despite that 148 batting average, seems to come up with men on base. Here's the pitch to Thurman. Misses wide. Hamilton now works in a 1-2 count. Might have been a pitch to set up something else as that one missed well low and away. Looked like the fastball low and away from the right-hander. We'll see where Hamilton goes now. Gets the signal in from Jacoby behind the plate. Tacchini, he's going to set the target outside. Hamilton goes slider away this time and still misses low and away. The count is 2-2 to Thurman. Temperature warming up today. We're 93 at first pitch, now up to 95 here in Casper, Wyoming at Mike Lansing Field, home of the Casper Spuds, the Independence League. The 2-2 home is a ground ball right back to Hamilton on the mound. Jogs it halfway to first before underhand dishing it to Meyer, and that'll do it in the 4th. But the Olies get on the board after the sacrifice from Colton Hartman. They still trail 6-1 as we head to the 5th on 104.3 960 Sports and MyBasin.com.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local, community engaged.
Ty Teeters, Trustin Thomas, Chase Barrett do up this half inning as the Falcons lead the Ole's 6-1 at the Northwest Class A American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament. Teeters 1 for 2 today. He singled in the second, grounded out in the third. All right, he's ready to dig in here, and it looks like we're ready for baseball. Nolan Spear still going out there for the Ole's. That means we can close the book on Zach Hermanson, which we'll do here in just a moment, as the first pitch to Teeters misses outside. The count is 1-0. Spears working out of the stretch predominantly here. Delivers to Teeters. Grounder back up the middle. The second baseman, Hermanson, backhands it. Throws to first in time. And a nice play at second to retire Teeters for the first out in the fifth inning. Hermanson, who now is at second, that's why I just called his name, pitched 3 1/3 innings in his start. He allowed 6 hits and 5 runs and struck out 4 batters. And of those 5 runs, 4 of them were earned. Here's the pitch. Misses up. Count is 1-0 to Trustin Thomas. Falcons also pushed across a second unearned run in that fourth inning. Right now they lead 6-1 in the fifth. Here's the pitch to Thomas. Takes it low. Count is 2-0. Thomas 0 for 1 in the ball game today. He laid down a sacrifice in the second, and he struck out in the fourth. Pitch on the way. That one finds the inside part. Nice pitch there from Nolan Spear. The count is 2-1 to Thomas. Set again is Spear, and the pitch is lifted to the right side. Going to be tough for Skinner to get to on the run. He does make the catch. And a fine job by Coda Skinner in right to put that one away, and it brings up Chase Barrett with 2 outs. Barrett 1 for 2 today. Struck out in the second, and he doubled and scored a run in the fourth. All right, he gets set to dig back in here. Comes the pitch to Barrett. Off speed, misses upstairs, and the count is 1-0 to Chase. Harley Hoblet is on deck if Barrett's able to get on base. Spear set. He delivers the pitch. Barrett pops one up. That one is actually hit pretty deep to right field. Didn't look like much off the bat, but Barrett's had a deep fly ball to right, aided by the wind, but still able to be collected by Skinner. And the Falcons go down in order in the fifth, and they still lead 6-1 as we go to the bottom half next at the Northwest Class A Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament on mybasin.com.
Introducing Smith Bates Marcom Solutions, your trusted partner in marketing and communication. We specialize in crafting compelling campaigns, eye-catching graphics, and impactful branding materials.
Smith Bates is like working with dependable friends. They always help us build our professional image.
Through the innovative strategies that the team at Smith Bates suggested, we've been able to give the brand at Calor the boost that it desperately needed.
Unlock your potential with Smith Bates Marcom Solutions.
Rob, why do you think so many families choose Subaru here?
Because they're built for real life here in Southern Oregon.
All-wheel drive, safety, and room for everything from kids to camping gear.
And we've got Subarus in stock, ready to go when you are.
Plus, we're locally owned and deeply involved in the community.
When you buy from us, you buy from a dealership that supports Klamath Falls. Stop by and say hi.
Friendly, local, and easy to work with. That's us at Klamath Falls Subaru, right on Washburn Way.
Leading off, second baseman number 11, Zach Hermanson.
Zach Hermanson, Landon Vaughn, and Rowdy Williams do up this half inning against Corbin Hamilton on the bump for the Klamath Falls Falcons. He has been dealing to this point in the ball game as he enters the bottom half of the fifth inning. Hamilton's allowed just 2 hits, 1 run. He struck out 2 batters. He's let the defense operate behind him today as he gets set to face the now second baseman, Zach Hermanson. First offering on the way from Hamilton drifts away. The count is 1-0. Hermanson reached on an error his last time up in the third inning, and that was turned into a double play on that trip around the bases. He swings and misses at the inside pitch there. The count is 1-1. Hermanson at the dish this year, bats .337 for the Olies. Here's the pitch from Hamilton, and a chopper to the left side. Sims throws against his body. It is not in time. And despite a good effort there by Sims, Hermanson beats out the infield single to lead off the fifth inning. Third hit of the ball game for the Olies brings up Landon Vaughn. Here's the pitch to Vaughn. Curveball finds the inside corner. Nice pitch there from Hamilton to get ahead. That front door breaking pitch has been working, and if he can throw it for strike one like he has been throughout most of the day, he'll stay dominant. It's been a good pitch for him this afternoon. The 0-1 on the way to Vaughn. Another off-speed pitch. This one ripped down the line fair, down the third base side. Rounding second, headed for third is Hermanson. They hold him there. In at second is Vaughn, and that time Hamilton went to the inside curveball on back-to-back pitches. Vaughn was able to turn on it, and he wound up with a double. Puts 2 men in scoring position for the top of the Oli's order. It's Rowdy Williams. Williams, though, 0 for 2 today as he gets set to face Hamilton for the third time. He flew out in the first and struck out in the third. Williams on the season, a .241 hitter. Bats here in a big spot for his team. The offering from Hamilton is fouled off. The count is 0-1. A 6-1 ball game, bottom of the fifth of this Northwest Class A regional tournament. Semifinals, Cache Valley, the state champs from Utah await the winner in this one for a noon first pitch in our title game tomorrow. The 0-1 on the way to Rowdy Williams, looks to lay down a bunt, pushes one down the first base side fair. A run is going to score, and they throw the runner out at first. Advancing to third was Landon Vaughn, but a sacrifice on the safety squeeze gets Eugene just a bit closer with one gone. It's now 6-2. Singleton 1 for 2 in today's ball game. He flew out in the first. He doubled and scored in the fourth. Here he bats with one gone and a runner at third against Hamilton. The pitch, curveball, dropped in for a strike. 0-1. Singleton is last time up, wrapped only his second double of the season. He bats .239 for the Olies here in the 2 spot. The offering on the way from Hamilton is a line drive to second base, gloved by Teeters on the fly, and 2 gone in the inning. Brings up Coda Skinner. 0 for 1 today is Skinner. He walked in the first and grounded out in the fourth. Runner remains at third with 2 outs, and the offering from Hamilton is a curveball, maybe a slider. It missed up anyway. Count is 1-0. Skinner, second leading hitter on the team, bats .390. As a group, this Oli's team bats .299. Hamilton working out of the stretch with the runner at third. Pardon me, the windup with the runner at third as he swings over the top of that one, does Skinner. And the count is even 1-1. And still working with a 4-run advantage. Hamilton going right after Skinner here. The 1-1 pitch. Checks his swing on the outside breaking ball. Skinner now works ahead 2-1. After Skinner in the order, if we get there, it's Colton Hartman. Hamilton kicks and delivers the 2-1 pitch. That one misses below the knees, 3-1. Ole's scored 1 run in the 4th, and they've added 1 more here in the 5th, and that's going to prompt Jacoby Tacchini to go out and have a chat with his pitcher out there. Today's broadcast on MyBasin.com is brought to you in part by Harbor Isles Tennis and Fitness Club. They exist to provide a clean, multi-use facility for the advancement of health, wellness, and longevity to their members and the community. We invite you to join Harbor Isles, where they feature top-of-the-line equipment, full-service personal training, and an array of group exercise classes. All right, here we go, ready for baseball. The pitch is hit to right field, and it is fair down the line. An RBI base hit for Coda Skinner brings Eugene a bit closer. It's now 6-3 after the RBI single, and it brings up Colton Hartman. Hartman getting ready to step in now, hit a sacrifice fly, got himself an RBI in the 4th inning. Otherwise, he popped out in the 1st. And are we getting a new baseball out there for Hamilton? It looks like it. So runner at first, and still 2 outs in the inning. Inning started with a single followed by a double. And the Ole's have been able to manufacture both of those runs, most recently with that RBI single from Skinner. By the way, for him, RBI number 29 on the season. Here's the pitch to Hartman, and the slider misses away. The count is 1-0. Hartman's got 39 RBIs on the season, actually 40, including the one he had with the sacrifice earlier today. 3rd on the team in hitting. The pitch to Hartman. Curveball ripped foul. Count is 1-1. After Hartman, it's Nolan Spear in the order for the Ole's. The Oregon State champs against the Oregon runners-up here at the Northwest Regional. A great matchup, and it's lived up to it today. The pitch. A check swing on a pitch that misses upstairs. 2-1 to Hartman. 14-1, the Falcons won on June 24th against the Ole's, but Eugene got them twice at the state tournament, including in the championship game. A couple of 1-run victories for the Ole's. And here they are climbing back into this ball game. At one point, the Ole's down 6-0, and now they're back within striking distance, a score of 6-3. As the 2-1 pitch missed away, Colton Hartman is now working ahead of Hamilton here, 3-1. Pitch coming up from Corbin is a curveball that's bounced to Meyer at third, Tacchini at third. He dives for it, but he's unable to come up with it. Barrett fields it in left. The throw in is going to be cut off. And 1st to 3rd goes Skinner on that play. And Hartman with a single brings up Nolan Spear. Tying run at the plate here for Spear as he struck out in the 2nd and walked in the 4th. Timeout is called, and we'll have Coach Craig Connor come on out of the dugout and discuss things with Hamilton. I was looking down earlier. I didn't see anyone warming up about 2 minutes ago, but now I do as I look down the right side. I think P.J. Safford might be warming up back out there. Hard to say exactly. Hard to get a good angle. But regardless, want to give our final shout-out to our sponsors today, Sage Credit Union. They know that picking the right path can make the journey easier, the distance shorter, and can assure that you end up at the right place. Whether you're dreaming of a home or you just want a great checking account, Sage Credit Union can help you reach your goals. And if you are dreaming of a home, reach out to Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty. They'll get you hooked up. They know that little things can add up to big bills when you're buying, selling, or owning a home. That's why their Beyond the Sale guarantees protect buyers, sellers, and homeowners from unexpected repair bills. To learn more, call Coldwell Banker Home and Premier Realty today. 2 runs home this inning for Eugene, and they've got the tying run to the plate with 2 more men in scoring position. Hartman at 2nd, Skinner at 3rd, and Nolan Spear at the dish. The first pitch is going to miss high on the fastball, just above the letters over the plate. The count is 1-0 to Spear, with Colden Clark due up next for the Oles should this inning continue. Hamilton back to working out of the windup here with 2 men on. Shakes off the first offering from Takini, and, well, took too long, according to Nolan Spear. Wanted to call timeout, so he backs out of the box. Now ready to step back in. Hamilton now steps, kicks, and delivers. This one is popped to the right side, but out of play, foul. And the count is 1-1 here to Nolan Spear. On the season, Spear a .289 hitter. 12 RBIs on the season for him. Not a huge sample size, though. He's got 13 hits, and 7 of them have been for extra bases as he takes a pitch low there, counts 2-1. Hamilton back on the rubber. Takini delivers the signal. Again, Hamilton shakes off the first offering, the second offering from Takini as well. Now he's agreeable. Here's the pitch. Misses low and away. Hamilton falls behind here, 3-1. Not sure if it's a case of Corbin maybe not trusting his stuff right now as we move throughout the later parts of the ball game, but he's shaken off Bobo a couple of times here as this one's gone along. Now the 3-1 pitch home. That one is called a strike. Gets the curveball across about thigh high on the outer third. Now the count is full. Big pitch coming up here for Corb. Wants to leave those guys out there. Here's the pitch, the 3-2. It is a curveball that's hit to the right side. Thomas going back near the track. It's over his head and to the wall. Both runs are going to score, and into second is Nolan Spear, and it is 6-5. The Oles rallying here in the fifth. Spear with his 7th double of the season, and he knocks in his 14th RBI. And as the pitcher now, he's afforded a courtesy runner. Binstat out on the base paths for him. And the tying run now into scoring position. The Oles at one point, like I said, down by 6, and now they're knocking on the door of tying up this ball game here in the middle part. Bottom of the 5th. Falcons up 6-5. Hamilton needing to get out of this inning. Here's the first pitch to Colden Clark. That one is hit foul. The count is 0-1. Clark, his last time up, singled in the 4th. He also flew out in the 2nd. On the season, Clark is batting .302 for the Oles. Hamilton set with the 0-1. And now the pitch home is flared to the right side. It is past the glove of Teeters and into right field. Rounding third and headed for home is Binstat, and we're tied in the semifinal. Brings up Ben Thurman. Go-ahead run on for the Oles here in the 5th. He's the 9th batter to hit this inning. Thurman's 0 for 2. He's grounded out a pair of times today, tied up at 6 in the semifinal. This rematch of the Oregon State title game living up to its billing here at the regional tournament. Move over to first. Back safely is Colden Clark. Thurman stepping back in. Ready for the pitch from Hamilton. Here it comes. That one misses in. Count is 1-0 to Thurman. Zach Hermanson due up next. He led off this inning with a single. Pitch on the way from Hamilton. That one misses low as well. 2-0. Trying to see who's warming up out there for the Falcons. I still can't quite make out who it is, but he's had some time out there. See how much longer of a leash Hamilton has here in this half inning. Pitch on the way. That one misses in. Falls behind here, 3-0. All right, Hamilton back on the rubber, trying to find the zone here. Shakes off again. Takini one time before coming set. Now the 3-0. It misses away, and a walk moves the go-ahead run into scoring position. And the Oles have batted around here in the 5th. And looks like we're about ready to go. Takini's going to call time, head out and chat with Hamilton. Might be trying to buy the reliever some extra time out there. And now Coach Connor comes out of the dugout. And I think this will be it for Corbin Hamilton. We'll wait to see for sure before we step aside here in the bottom of the 5th inning of a tied ball game. And a new arm coming in for the Falcons. And it is going to be P.J. Safford coming in here for Klamath Falls. The bottom of the 5th. We'll step aside, give him some time to get loose out there. It's a brand new ball game here at the Regional. 6-all in the 5th. Back after this on mybasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Bottom of the 5th inning, and the Oles rallying. They've scored 5 here in this half inning and flirting with more with 2 men on and 2 men out. P.J. Safford is the new arm in the game for the Falcons. Safford making his 16th appearance of the season, his 15th in relief. Through 33 innings pitched, he's got a 3-3 record and an ERA of 1.27 entering play today. Other changes for the Falcons include Hamilton sticking around in the ball game. He'll take over at first base. Ian Meyer moves over to third. And Colin Takini replaces Ty Teeters at second. Teeters has been removed. And the outfield stays the same for the Falcons. Chase Barrett in left, Harley Hoblet in center, Trustin Thomas in right. Zach Hermanson getting ready to go now for the Oles as he singled to lead off this inning and came around to score. He also reached on an error in the 3rd. Safford just needing 1 out to try to put an end to the bleeding here. Pitch on the way from Safford, misses high. The count is 1-0. Colden Clark is aboard at second. Ben Thurman is aboard at first for the Oles. Safford takes a look at the runner at second, now motions home. This one is popped up right side, and Jacoby Takini makes the catch behind home plate. Tough ball for him to get to, but he puts an end to the 5th inning. We are tied at 6 as we head to the 6th at the Northwest Regional Tournament semifinal on mybasin.com.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you're aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon. Because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Getting set for the top of the 6th inning for the Northwest Regional Tournament on mybasin.com. Our check of the line score brought to you by Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness, and Performance. Tied up at 6. 6 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for the Falcons. 6 runs on 8 hits, 1 error for the Olies. We have played to a dead even tie so far. And regardless of who you're a fan of, this game has kept you on the edge of your seat throughout. Harley Hoblet, Carson Sims, Corbin Hamilton set to lead off this 6th inning. The pitch to Hoblet, ruled a strike, knee high on the outside part of the plate. Count is 0-1 to Harley. So far today, Harley 1 for 2, including an RBI double back in the 4th inning. Here's the pitch. That one hit him, and Hoblet gets first. For Harley, that is the, looking for it. How many times has he been hit by the pitch this year? 12 times. 12th time Harley's been hit by the pitch this season, and it feels like it's about the 6th time in the last week and a half. But he'll take first base. Falcons need a base runner. We go back to the top for Carson Sims. Sims was also hit by a pitch his last time up. He hits one well to left center field. That one is down in the gap and a base hit. Hoblet getting hungry, looking for third, and he gets in there safely. Aggressive base running. Harley Hoblet goes first to third, and with the outfield in Eugene playing as deep as it was, Sims only comes away with a single, but regardless, 2 men on and nobody out here for Corbin Hamilton. Second hit of the day for Sims, by the way. He's now 2 for 2. And now in steps Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton singled and later scored his last time up. And an RBI opportunity here. Set is Spear and the pitch. Hamilton looking to lay down a bunt. That pitch winds up in the dirt. Counts 1-0. Hamilton was the game starting pitcher for the Falcons. No decision for either starter today as Hamilton pitched 4 2/3 innings, giving up 8 hits and 6 runs. He struck out 2 batters. Hamilton digs back in ahead of the 1-0 pitch. He shows bunt again. That one misses high, and the count is 2-0. Sims with an aggressive secondary lead, but the second baseman Hermanson winds up getting over there in time to hold him, despite the first baseman Clark crashing on the bunt. And smart infield play there from the Olies. Can't get too overzealous over there. Here's the 2-0 pitch. That one's in the dirt as well. Hamilton works ahead 3-0 with Jacoby Tacchini due up next. Spear gets the ball back, toes the rubber, comes set quickly, and now is ready to throw the 3-0 pitch. Hamilton takes a look at strike 1. That was a knee-high fastball. Looks like Spear might have dialed back the velocity a bit to make sure to get that one across, but he does. And Hamilton's still in a hitter's count here, 3-1. Hamilton stands 6'3" in the right-handed batter's box. Sims is on the move. The pitch misses high anyway, and the bases are loaded for Jacoby Tacchini. And we're going to have time called as they want to talk about how to approach this at-bat from Tacchini. Actually, it looks like we're going to be getting a pitching change here for the Olies as Landon Vaughn gets tabbed in from center field, it looks like. And so we will step aside as the Olies make a change here in the top of the 6th inning. Bases loaded, nobody out, tied at 6 at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament. We're back after this on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
Landon Vaughn in the game here for the Olies, as I believe Nolan Spear stuck around and moved back out to the outfield for Eugene. So no changes to the batting order for the Olies, but as we introduce you to Landon Vaughn, he's making his 6th appearance of the season. It is his 4th in relief. He's pitched 16 and a third previous innings to a 1-2 record. He's got an ERA of 3.86. Entering play today, he inherits, well, usually I'll say he inherits a less than desirable situation, but this might be one of the toughest situations for a new pitcher to come in and face. Not only are the bases loaded, but you're facing one of the very best hitters in not only the state of Oregon at this level, but he's proven to be one of the very best hitters in the Northwest region at this level, and that's one Jacoby Takini. Takini today has been walked 3 times, twice intentionally, and that should show you what the Olies think about his ability to swing the bat. Takini, the man that the Falcons want up in this spot, and we'll see if he can come through for his ball club here. We're tied up at 6 in the top of the 6th inning in this semifinal matchup. The Wolverines, the Utah State champs, are patiently awaiting the winner of this one in tomorrow's championship game, which is set to go at noon here in Wyoming or 11 o'clock in the Pacific time zone. Here we go. Jacoby Takini due up here for the Falcons. Team leader in average. Bats .479 entering play today. The first pitch from Vaughn is called a strike on the inside corner. Goes front door with the breaking pitch, and Takini falls behind here 0-1. Nobody out, bases loaded. Ian Meyer is due up next. Corners in for the Olies. Middle of the infield trying to turn 2. The pitch from Vaughn is wrapped down the third base side. Foul. And the count is 0-2. Takini behind in the count here as Landon Vaughn tries to set down one of the most dangerous bats in the Falcons order. Aboard at first is Hamilton after a walk. Aboard at second is Sims after a single. Hoblet finds himself at third after leading off this inning, being hit by a pitch. And Vaughn is going to step off ahead of the 0-2 pitch. Gets the signal in from Rowdy Williams, now is set. The pitch to Takini is going to miss in the dirt, and the count moves to a ball and 2 strikes against the Falcons catcher. Aside from being walked 3 times today, Takini also had a double in yesterday's contest, was one of only 2 Falcons to record a base hit against Cache Valley. Pitch on the way. That one is going to bounce as well. A good job by Williams to block that one. Catcher is important in spots like these, and Williams doesn't let anything get behind him. Good catcher for these Olies. The count's now 2-2 to Jacoby Takini after a couple of pitches missed in the dirt. Vaughn looks in, gets the signal, and is set. Here's the 2-2. That one misses behind Takini. And a good at-bat here working for Bobo. He was behind 0-2. Now full count, 3-2. There's nowhere to put him. A walk here scores a run. Said with the 3-2. Here it comes. It's in the dirt. And the Falcons have a 7-6 lead. Takini walks for the 4th time today. Give him the RBI this time. That's RBI number 74. As Hoblet comes in to score. Sims to third. Hamilton to second. And Ian Meyer at the plate. He's had a great day so far today. He's 2 for 3 with 3 RBIs. A run scored, a double, and a single. And aboard at first, by the way, replacing Takini, courtesy runner Max Rogers. Meyer stands in the right-handed batter's box. Here's the pitch. A curveball dropped in for a strike. That's a big bending, breaking pitch there from Landon Vaughn. It looked like it almost started above Ian's head and then broke in for a strike. Not a bad pitch there. All right. Here's the offering to Meyer. That one is chopped to the left side, fielded on the third base bag, and the run is safe at the plate. Or are they going to say he fielded it in foul territory because the tag was never applied? It wouldn't have been a force out at home. And so they're going to say a foul ball. And so Meyer gets a second life there. The count is 0-2. It looked to me like that might have been fair. And if it had been, yes, there would have been an out at third, but the runner at home would have been safe because it wasn't a force anymore. Regardless, a whole lot of speculation for a foul ball anyway. The count is 0-2 to Meyer. 7-6, the Falcons lead. They've got the bases loaded with nobody out. Meyer in an 0-2 count. Here's the pitch. Meyer grounds one over to short. Up with it is Hartman. The throw on to second for one, but they don't get the back end. Meyer is safe, and he knocks in a run. The Falcons lead 8-6. There's now one out in the inning and runners at the corners. Rogers was out on the fielder's choice. And Sims scored, which moved Hamilton to third. Here's Colin Takini with one out in the inning. All right. Colin today is 1 for 3. He struck out in the first, singled in a run in the third, and popped out in the fourth. Set on the mound is Landon Vaughn. Here's the pitch. Takini watches that first pitch breaking ball go by. The count is 0-1. Vaughn used that pitch to get ahead of Meyer and Takini as well. See if the Falcons are able to pick up on that first pitch breaking ball. He's gone to that one, like I said, 3 times now in a row. Vaughn set with the 0-1. And here it comes. Takini chops one to the third base side foul, and he's down in the count 0-2 with P.J. Safford due up next. Vaughn gets the ball back, takes a moment to toe the rubber, but it looks like he's ready to go now, 0-2. Looks over at first, takes a look at Meyer, not a huge lead over there. And the pitch home, Meyer takes off. Hamilton hits one to right field. Meyer with a head start's going to go first to third. Hamilton will score. Meyer not only going to third, he gets the green light as that one rolls to the wall. He'll score. Takini in at third. A bases clearing triple, and the Falcons lead 10-6. P.J. Safford, an RBI opportunity now with just one out as the Falcons continue their rally in the 6th inning. Safford getting his first look here. He's batting in the spot of Ty Teeters. Teeters exited the game after going 1 for 3, including a single in the 2nd inning. Like I said, first look for Safford today. Safford on the season. He's batting .314 for the Falcons. Infield comes in here for the Oles. The pitch. Safford hits that one into the air. Center field. Spear is coming in. It drops in front of him. Coming in to score is Takini. The throw never comes. And an RBI single for P.J. Safford. And the Falcons out in front by 5. Hunter Glidden going to be running here for Safford, the pitcher, and it brings up Trustin Thomas. RBI single for PJ, RBI number 30 on the year. And Trustin Thomas a chance to continue this rally here for Klamath Falls. They've added 5 already here in this half. All right. Got a couple of guys heading out to the Eugene bullpen. Maybe trying to provide some relief to Landon Vaughn. The Falcons continue to swing it well here. Set on the bump is Vaughn, ready to deliver to Trustin Thomas, who's 0 for 2 today. Watches that first pitch breaking ball go by for strike 1. Thomas, along with a strikeout and a flyout his last 2 times up, laid down a sacrifice bunt in the second. On the season, Thomas bats .306. Vaughn looks in, checks on Glidden over there at first. And now the pitch. That one misses in against Thomas. The count is even at a ball and a strike. After Thomas, if the inning continues, or when the inning continues, I suppose, unless a ground ball here ends it, Chase Barrett's on deck. Only one out in the inning. Pitch on the way to Trustin Thomas. Here it comes from Vaughn. It's in the dirt. It kicks away from Williams. Advancing to second is going to be Glidden. And some frustration being shown by Landon Vaughn as well, as after that wild pitch skipped away from the catcher, he took his glove off and swiped it down on the pitcher's mound. Baseball is an emotional game and a mental game too. And right now the pressure mounting on the Oles. Counts 1-1 to Trustin Thomas. Here's the pitch. That one misses in on the curveball. Count is 2-1. Good take there from Trustin. Vaughn, to his credit, has had that inside breaking ball working for the most part in this outing. The Falcons have just been able to sit on fastballs and have taken advantage of it. Here's the 2-1 pitch to Trustin Thomas. That one's in the dirt. And I believe I must have missed a pitch. I think that was the 3-1, and Thomas walks. And so it brings up Chase Barrett with 2 on and just 1 out. Two men warming up out there for the Falcons. I can tell one of them is Colby Medeiros. Another right-hander getting loose out there. Hard to say. Might be Hayden Poor. Could also be Ty Teeters. We'll see. Here is Chase Barrett stepping in for the Falcons. And the pitch is another inside breaking pitch. Strike one curveball from Landon Vaughn. It's been the recipe for him today. After Barrett, we're back to where we started this inning with Harley Hoblet on deck. Here's the pitch. Barrett, ground ball up the middle, gloved by the pitcher for 1, on to first for 2, and a 1-6-3 double play ends the inning. But the Falcons score 5, and they lead 11-6. To the bottom of the 6th we go on mybasin.com.
At Geno's on East Main Street, we're always ready for sports season.
And now is a perfect time to connect with us.
We're open every morning at 6:30, serving simply good food
for your breakfast, lunch, and dinner.
We offer breakfast burritos and burgers all day, Italian family recipes,
monthly specials, amazing desserts, and of course, your choice of cold or hot beverages.
Call 884-6474 right now to place a food order for pickup or use DoorDash delivery.
Or best of all, come dine in with us.
Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Check out our full menu and all our activities at ilovegenos.com. Geno's on East Main, simply good food.
Klamath Falls Falcons lead the Eugene Oles 11-6 at the Northwest Class A Regional American Legion Baseball Tournament. In the bottom of the 6th, it'll be Landon Vaughn, Rowdy Williams, and Blake Singleton due up for the Oles. That's 9-1-2 in their order. The Oles rallied to tie the game in the bottom of the 5th inning with a 5 spot in that half, but the Falcons answered the call, putting up 5 of their own in the top half of the 6th to regain the advantage. Again, 11-6 our score as we begin play in the bottom of the 6th inning. And I can see down in front of home plate, or I suppose behind home plate in the stands, the Wolverines, the Utah State champs, are now back at the ballpark wanting to watch a conclusion of what's been a good ball game today. First pitch swinging for Vaughn, a shallow fly ball to left field. Carson Sims, the shortstop, goes back and puts it away for the first out. One gone here in the inning, and we go back to the top for Rowdy Williams. Williams laid down a sacrifice safety squeeze in the 5th inning, earned himself an RBI. Otherwise, he's 0 for 2 in the ball game with a fly out in the 1st, and he struck out in the 3rd. Here's the offering from P.J. Safford. It misses low and away. The count is 1-0. Williams awaits the pitch from Safford. This is another fly ball, this time to the right side. Colin Takini, the second baseman, goes out and makes the catch. 2 quickly gone here in the 6th inning. It brings up Blake Singleton, who is 1 for 3 so far today. Singleton flew out in the first. He doubled and scored in the 4th, and he popped out in the 5th. All right, Safford working quickly out there, already 2 gone in the 6th. Here's the pitch. A slider finds the outside corner. Safford works ahead here, 0-1. After Singleton in the Ole's order, it's Coda Skinner. Safford with the 0-1 pitch. This one is hit to the third baseman. Meyer up with it. Throws to first in time. The Ole's down in order in the 6th. The Falcons carry a 5-run lead to the 7th at the Northwest Regional on mybasin.com.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Top of the 7th inning here at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament semifinal between the Klamath Falls Falcons and the Eugene Ole Athletics. Right now the Falcons lead 11-6. Due up for them is Harley Hoblet, Carson Sims, and Corbin Hamilton. We've also got a new pitcher into the game for the Oles. Welcome to the ball game, Jasper Spoon, making his 8th appearance of the season. It is his 6th in relief. He carries an 0-1 record through 20 2/3 innings pitched, an ERA of 2.03 entering play in the ball game. For the Falcons, their 11 runs came on 3 in the 3rd, 3 in the 4th, and 5 in the 6th. For the Oles, their 6 runs come after 1 in the 4th and 5 in the 5th. Any insurance will help. As we've learned so far today, no lead is safe. Falcons needing even some more insurance. A 5-run lead is not comfortable today. The Oles at one point trailed this game 6-0. Falcons have been able to climb back out in front as Hoblet gets ready to lead off this half inning. Harley today is 1 for 2 as he faces Jasper Spoon. That pitch misses down and in. The count is 1-0. Hoblet grounded out in the 2nd. Had a double in the 4th and an RBI. He was also hit by a pitch in the 6th and came in to score that trip around the bases. The 1-0 on the way. Nearly hit Harley, but he scoots out of the way. The count is 2-0. Hoblet, then Sims, then Hamilton. 9-1-2 for the Falcons in the 7th. The 2-0 home to Harley. Looks to show bunt and then pulls back. He works ahead here, 3-0. Fourth pitcher of the game here for Eugene. For a team that gave up only 4 runs entering play today in the tournament as a 4-pitch walk delivered to Harley. He's aboard. And the point I was making is the Oles came into this semifinal game having only allowed 4 runs all tournament. But today, Falcons have scored 11 on them. This is the most runs in a single game that the Oles have given up since they played the AAA Challengers on the 4th of July. Sims looking to lay down bunt as he steps in, pulls back on a pitch that's ruled a strike on the inside corner. The count is 0-1. Sims today is 2 for 2 with 3 runs scored. He was hit by a pitch in the 1st, doubled in the 3rd, was hit again in the fourth, and he singled last time up in the sixth. Here he's behind 0-1 with Hoblet. Small lead off the first base bag. Spoon comes set, and the pitch home. Hoblet on the move. Sims hits one the opposite way to right field. Hoblet turns second, heads for third, and he will get in there standing. Good base running there by the Falcons. The hit and run puts runners at the corners with nobody out, and Corbin Hamilton up at the plate. Sims with a fantastic afternoon today. He's now 3 for 3. And it brings up Corbin Hamilton. Hamilton 1 for 2 for his part today, including a single and a run scored in the fourth inning. He also walked his last time up and scored in the sixth. Spoon looks in, gets the signal from Williams, and is ready to deliver. Here's the pitch. Hamilton pushes a bunt foul down the first base side. The count is 0-1. After Hamilton in the order is Jacoby Tacchini for the Falcons. They look to add to their 5-run advantage, top of the seventh inning in this regional tournament semifinal. Coach Sean Teeters down the third base side, offering a set of signs here to Hamilton. We'll see if he tries to lay down another bunt, move these guys over. Could also function as a safety squeeze with Hoblet there at third. Hamilton tries to lay down a bunt, comes up empty, and he falls behind here 0-2. Second base, no one's at second base. Sims realizes and he's going to get it for free. No one was there. The second baseman, Hermanson, went to cover first on the bunt attempt, and the shortstop, Hartman, wasn't paying attention seemingly, and so Sims just got second base for free. That's some heads-up base running. Hamilton in an 0-2 count with 2 men in scoring position, and he waves and misses at strike 3. One gone in the inning, and it brings up Jacoby Tacchini. Tacchini without an official at-bat today, and he won't get one yet. They walk him to load up the bases. They're going to pitch low to Meyer, going to try to get him to roll him up into a double play. Last time Meyer did hit a ground ball with the bases loaded, but it was only a fielder's choice, and a run still scored on the play. Meyer's reached on fielder's choices twice today. He also doubled in 2 runs in the third and 1 more in the fourth. Bases loaded. Rogers, by the way, in for Tacchini at first. At second, it's Sims. At third, it's Hoblet. First pitch on the way to Ian Meyer from Jasper Spoon. Is going to miss upstairs. The count is 1-0. After Meyer in the Falcons' order is Colin Tacchini. Meyer, one of the leaders on this team, in a big spot here as the Falcons look to extend their lead. That pitch misses behind him. The count is 2-0. Meyer is committed to furthering his education at the University of Oregon. Playing his final season with the Falcons, trying to come up at a big spot here. And he takes a strike knee high on the inside part, 2-1. You've got the other 2 class of 26 Falcons players due up in the next 2 spots as well, with Tacchini and Safford, who waits in the hole. Count is 2-1 to Meyer. Here's the pitch. That one misses in near the hands of Ian. And the count is 3-1 to Meyer. Nowhere to put him as a walk here, plates a run. Spoon needing to come into the zone against one of the stronger hitters on this Falcons ball club. Meyer bats .474 on the summer. Here's the pitch. Meyer line drive, center field, right to Spear, and the catch is made. Tagging from third is Hoblet. He is in to score. And they throw over to third to see if Hoblet is safe out there, to see if he tagged. And he is. And so wanted to wait to see that. It looked like the Oles were going to try to get that run at third, or the Hoblet not tagging play. He's kind of tricky about that sometimes, but I think he's just quick about it. Meyer gets a sacrifice fly and an RBI, and the Falcons lead 12-6. Nobody else advancing. Sim stays at second. Rogers stays at first. And there are now 2 outs in the inning for Colin Tacchini. First pitch on the way to Colin from Spoon. Here it comes. Misses away. Curveball, 1-0. Takini with a 2 RBI triple his last time up in the 6th. He also scored a run in the 6th. That's to go along with an RBI single he had in the 3rd. Here's the 1-0 pitch to Colin Takini. That one skips in the dirt. Colin works ahead here 2-0. On the season, Colin a .339 hitter. He's committed to furthering his playing career at Umpqua Community College. And pitched a gem yesterday to help the Falcons get here. 9 strikeouts in 7 innings pitched. The 2-0 home to Colin. That one's hit high to center field, although it looks playable for Spear. He comes in and makes the catch, and that will end the inning. But the Falcons add 1 run here in the 7th, and they look to protect a 6-run lead. To the last of the 7th we go at the Northwest Regional Tournament on mybasin.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
Bottom of the 7th inning, and the Falcons lead the Olies 12-6 at the Northwest Class A American Legion Baseball Regional Tournament. 3-4-5 due up for the Olies in this half inning. Coda Skinner, Colton Hartman, and Nolan Spear. P.J. Safford has retired 4 straight since coming out of the bullpen. Looking for more as he gets going here against Coda Skinner. First pitch on the way to Skinner, and it's a firm fastball on the inner third, ruled strike 1. Skinner today 1 for 2. He had an RBI single in the 5th inning. He also grounded out in the 4th and walked in the 1st. Here's a ground ball up the middle. Sims in the gap, up with it, fires on to first, and Hamilton with a beautiful stretch to get the out. Hamilton, that long stride, he stands 6'3". He needed every bit of that wingspan to bring in that throw. Sims, a quality effort to even get to that baseball, and there's one gone in the 7th. Brings up Colton Hartman. He is 1 for 2 so far today. Singled and scored in the 5th. First pitch swinging tardy on the fastball, 0-1. After Hartman, it's Nolan Spear in the order for the Olies. Here's the 0-1 from Safford. 2-seamer misses in. Count is even, a ball and a strike. All right, the pitch on the way from Safford. The 1-1 is waved out and missed. Chased the high heat. That time did Hartman. 1-2. Takini delivers the signal to Safford. Now the 1-2 pitch is another chance for Sims at short. A diving stop, and I think it hit off his face and into right field. We got to make sure Carson's okay. We got to get someone out there. That one hit right off his face. One hop off the grass. And we're getting coach out there. We're going to step aside as we give Carson some time to be attended to out there at shortstop. 1 out, bottom of the 7th inning. A single for Hartman will put a runner on for Eugene. Back after this at the regional tournament on mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Josh Eldridge here, welcoming you back to Mike Lansing Field in Casper, Wyoming at the Northwest Regional Tournament. Player's been injured down on the field. Carson Sims took a baseball off, I think, the face on the previous play. 12-6 right now. The Falcons lead. We're in the bottom of the 7th inning. What's supposed to be a momentous occasion for the Falcons has stopped here dead in its tracks. We're going to step aside here one more time. I just wanted to let you know what's going on here at the ball field, and don't want to speculate too much about what's going on, but here in the bottom of the 7th inning, we've got some folks being called here to help Carson off the field. So we're going to step aside just one more time for a couple of minutes, and hope that he's okay, and best wishes to Carson and his family as we step aside one more time here in the broadcast on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com.
What are the best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan.
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
you know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
There's something special about this place. It's more than the quiet mornings and the open skies. It's more than the scenery. It's the people. Around here, people still wave when you pass by. They check in when something's wrong. They show up when it matters. At Sage Credit Union, we're proud to live and work in a region that believes in each other. A place where neighbors lend a hand, small businesses thrive, and generosity runs deep. We believe that being part of a community means giving back to it, not just with dollars, but with time, effort, and heart. That's why our employees earn paid volunteer time. That's why you'll see us at food drives, fundraisers, and the local fair. We show up for our community. This isn't just where we work. This is where we live, where we give, and where we grow. Right here, in the coffee shop, at the fundraiser, and in our local branch. At Sage Credit Union, we've found our people. We'll see you around town.
At Pacific Power, we can't predict the future, but we're preparing for every possibility. With more extreme weather year-round, we're investing in an energy system ready for what comes next. By strengthening the grid, using smart infrastructure, and drawing from our diverse energy resources, we're not just powering today. We're designing an energy system that's built to weather tomorrow. Energy that makes powering your greatness possible.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local community engaged.
Josh Eldridge back here at the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament on mybasin.com and also on 104.3 and 960 Sports. If you've just joined us, you've been listening to a lot of advertisements. We've been trying to fill some time here as Carson Sims still down there behind second base and an ambulance on the field trying to tend to him. Right now the Falcons at the bottom of the seventh inning lead the Olies 12-6 in this regional semifinal matchup, and there's one out in this inning, and Colton Hartman is going to be aboard at first once we come back, although not exactly sure when this game is going to be getting back and getting started here today. If you've missed the majority of our ball game today, the baseball itself has been really great today. The Falcons jumped out to a 3-run lead in the third inning of this contest. They extended it to a 6-run lead in the fourth inning. Eugene came back. They scored 1 run in the fourth. They added 5 more in the fifth. The game was tied up at 6. It's been a great game today. The Falcons added 5 runs in the sixth inning to put themselves up at the time 11-6. They added another in the seventh inning and are just a couple of outs away from trying to advance on to a regional championship tomorrow. It's been a good tournament for the Falcons thus far. After a loss on the opening day of the event, they've battled. They stuck together as a group with their back against the wall. An 11-6 win on Friday and a 6-1 win on Saturday, as folks start to raise some applause for Carson down there. For the Olies, they made it through group play relatively easily, a 3-0 record for them through group play, and none of their games particularly close. I suppose the opener was still a shutout, though, 2-0 against the host Wildcatters. They also won 10-0 on Friday and 10-4 yesterday to book their ticket here to the semifinal. And Sims being helped off the field. It looks like he's avoiding the trip to the ambulance. And so that's, I hope, bodes well. His family down there with him. And he's able to walk off the field. It looks like Max Rogers is going to replace him defensively. We're going to step aside for one more time and let everyone get back out on the field as we try to resume this game and wrap up this semifinal. I'll be back in just a minute on mybasin.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
So lonely, I just sigh and moan. Seems like I've been waiting forever, wondering if you're coming home. I just saw your face, I know you're coming home. I swear there is no place that feels as good as home. And then I heard your voice. I know you're coming home. I know you're coming home.
This is where unconditional love and immeasurable happiness reside. This is home. Coltwell Banker, where home begins.
What are your goals? To get stronger, move better, feel healthier? Whatever you are aiming for, Harbor Isles is here to help you. They have brand new cardio and strength equipment. Harbor Isles offers indoor tennis courts, 4 indoor pickleball courts, energizing group classes, expert personal trainers, and a friendly, knowledgeable staff ready to guide you every step of the way. No matter what your goals are, Harbor Isles has everything you need to reach those goals. Stop by and see the difference for yourself. Harbor Isles, lose those reins and get your gains.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, and or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our like honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
Josh Eldridge back with you here on 104.3 960 Sports and mybasin.com. Carson Sims was helped off the field into the Falcons dugout. And I think as soon as the ambulance, which I think thankfully for the Sims family is leaving empty, once it makes its way off the field, will resume in a 12-6 ball game. The Falcons lead the Olies right now in the regional semifinal, 12-6 the score. And I apologize a moment ago for having the line score inaccurate up on the screen. 12 runs, 12 hits, an error for the Falcons. 6 runs, 9 hits, 1 error so far for the Oles. Falcons are retaking the field, and now in its shortstop is Colin Takini. And now taking over at second base is Max Rogers. P.J. Safford going to get a couple of warm-up tosses in. There's going to be a runner at first. Colton Hartman with a single with 1 out in the inning. And it'll be Nolan Spear due up as we resume this ball game today. Thank you for being patient and sticking with us as we wish well to Carson and his family. And I hope that he recovers well after taking that line drive on a defensive effort. Can't fault Carson for his effort ever. He's diving for that ball, and he made an exquisite play for the first out in this inning, even if you'll remember a ball he had to make a play to throw against his body. And Corbin Hamilton helped him out with a great stretch as well. Sims, one of the beating hearts of this ball club, and at least for the rest of this game, and maybe in the future, they're going to have to do it without him. As Safford continues his warm-up pitches, it'll be 5, 6, and 7 due up for the Oles as we resume this ball game. Nolan Spear, Colton Clark, and Ben Thurman. And again, Colton Hartman is aboard at first. All right, here we go. Back to baseball. Nolan Spear stepping in today. He's 1 for 2. He doubled in 2 runs in the 5th inning and scored in the big 5-run 5th inning for the Oles. At the time, it helped him tie the game. Here's the pitch from P.J. Safford. A 2-seam fastball finds the inside corner. The count is 0-1. Aside from that double, Spear also walked in the 4th and struck out in the 2nd. Safford comes set, working out of the stretch. Here's the delivery. And it's a line drive to left field and a base hit. Hartman is going to advance into scoring position. Spear aboard at first. Back-to-back singles for the Oles, and it brings up Colton Clark. Tenth hit of the day for the Oles. Both offenses have been working extremely well against some good pitching, too. I got to say, despite giving up a lot of these runs, not a lot of bad pitches, not a lot of free passes for these teams either. These teams are just swinging the bats really well. Here's Colton Clark, who is 2 for 3 in the ball game today. First pitch from Safford to Clark is a letter-high slider called a strike, 0-1. Clark singled in a run in the 5th, and he also singled in the 4th, but was left stranded that time around. He flew out in the 2nd inning. The 0-1 on the way to Safford, on the way from Safford, is popped up to the left side and foul. And the count is 0-2 to Colton Clark, with Ben Thurman due up next. Bottom of the 7th inning, the Falcons trying to punch their ticket to the Northwest Regional Championship game, where the Cache Valley Wolverines, the representatives from Utah, wait a noon first pitch tomorrow. The Oles trying to say they're not done yet. They trail by 6. 2 men on, 1 man out. 0-2 count to Colton Clark. Here's the pitch. And Safford misses outside with the slider. Could be used to set up something else as we move throughout this at-bat. Clark is, I think, the only man in the infield who hasn't had to move around positions yet today. Started at first base, and he stayed there throughout. The 1-2 home from Safford is swung on and missed, and the Oles down to their final out of the season. Falcons needing just one more to make it back to the regional championship game. In steps Ben Thurman. I stand corrected. Pinch hitter for the Oles. Take a look at the lineup card, and I'll try to clue you in. It is going to be Colton Cogburn due up here for the Oles. Cogburn getting his first look here in this contest.
It's Wyatt.
Is it Wyatt? Wearing 7? I'm looking at 17. Oh, Wyatt Krause. I was looking at 17. I guess the number got cut off on my scorecard there. So it's Wyatt Krause batting here from the left side. Krause is a .347 hitter. Pitch from Safford. It's going to miss upstairs. And the count is 1-0 to Kraus, with Zach Hermanson due up next. Thurman exits the game having gone 0 for 2. He also walked, and that was back in the 5th inning. The 1-0 home to Kraus is a comebacker to Safford. Ricochets off of him, comes over to Rogers. Throw on to first is in time, and the Klamath Falls Falcons are back in the regional championship game after defeating the Eugene Olies 12-6 in this semifinal. We're going to step aside for 2 minutes, and when we come back, we'll wrap this one up for you and prepare you for a tournament championship game tomorrow on mybasin.com.
When your care feels complicated, you need someone who won't back away. At Heartfelt, they are known for taking on the cases others won't. Complex, high-risk, and deeply personal situations that deserve real attention. They specialize in minimally invasive procedures, helping you heal faster and get back to your life, your family, your work. And they are here for the long term, not just one visit. No referrals needed, just care that truly shows up for you. Visit heartfeltobgyn.com or call 541-205-6890. Heartfelt OBGYN. Expert care when it matters most.
Come on in. Hey, I'm Jason with Elevate Physical Therapy, Fitness and Performance, and just a little bit about us. So we started in March of 2020, opened right before COVID hit. It's been a wild ride. So one of the things I'm super passionate about is this idea of being guides, and or think about like a map and compass. If you think about our job as physical therapists is to take a person who's had an injury and help them kind of go from point A to point B. And everybody's journey is different. It's never a straight line. It's nice to have someone that's been there, that's walked that path before many times. And so we see it as our honor and privilege to be able to walk with patients through those little steps along the way of getting back to doing the things they love. So to get a hold of us at Elevate, you can call our number at 541-887-2030. Check out our website, elevateptfp.com. Or check us out on Instagram, shoot us a message.
The Klamath Basin is beautiful, from shimmering Klamath Lake to rich farmlands to the historic downtown. And with an average of over 300 days of sunshine every year, the Klamath Basin is a great place to be. We here at Basin Media Active have been supporting this community for many years, keeping it entertained and informed with friendly faces and familiar voices. You can stay up to date with the latest news, weather, stream live local sports, and check out our community calendar, all on our website, mybasin.com. And you can download our app for free in your app store right now. Basin Media Active, local, community, engaged.
The Klamath Falls Falcons are heading back to the Northwest Class A Regional Tournament Championship game after defeating the Eugene Olies today 12-6. For the Falcons, 12 runs come on 12 hits. They commit 1 error. For the Olies, 6 runs come on 10 hits. They commit 1 error. The winning pitcher in this contest is P.J. Safford, who came in relief and pitched 2 1/3 innings, allowing just 2 hits and striking out 1 batter. The losing pitcher in this one is Eugene's Landon Vaughn, who pitched an inning, allowed 2 hits and 2 runs. They were both earned. Actually, pardon me, it's Nolan Spear who's the losing pitcher. Pitched an inning in 2/3, allowing 3 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned. He walked 2. Notables for the Klamath Falls Falcons, Carson Sims, who went 3 for 3 today and 3 runs scored. Wishing well to Carson, who somehow, some way was wearing a smile when he was high-fiving kids behind home plate. I don't quite rightly know how that's possible, but Carson Sims, at least on his own 2 feet after taking a line drive on a diving play at shortstop. Corbin Hamilton contributed in the win today, a 1 for 3 performance for him, 2 runs scored. Ian Meyer was 2 for 5 today with 2 runs scored, 6 RBIs for Ian Meyer, including a double. Colin Takini had a triple on a 2 for 5 day with 3 RBIs. Ty Teeters was 2 for 4 with an RBI. Chase Barrett and Harley Hoblet each got base hits in today's contest. One heck of a season for the Eugene Ole Athletics, who earned their first Oregon State championship in program history and turned it into a semifinal appearance at the regional. Their final record on the season is 29-14. Best wishes and hope that the Olies travel home safe. They've always been fantastic to work with in the now 4 times that we've faced them this season. For the Falcons, though, their year continues, and it'll be at noon tomorrow against the representatives from Utah. The Cache Valley Wolverines await the Falcons in the championship game. It's a noon first pitch here in Wyoming, 11 o'clock back home in the Basin. We hope that you join us then. But until then, my time is up. Thanks so much for joining us today for another edition of Klamath Falls Falcons Baseball. I want to give a big thanks to everybody who helps make today's broadcast a success. Both head coaches, KJ Strickland for the Eugene Olies and Sean Teeters for the Klamath Falls Falcons. Big thanks to everybody who's been working up here in the press box with me, and thanks to you for joining us for another edition of Klamath Falls Falcons Baseball. A regional championship game awaits the Falcons tomorrow at noon, but until then, my name is Josh Eldridge. Thanks again for joining us. So long, and good night from Mike Lansing Field in Casper, Wyoming.